Yes, yes. Welcome to the ancient world of tabletop games. I am Agamemnon from the historical documentary Time Bandits. This is a report from a fugitive. There are 3 versions of the audio commentary accompanying the opening scenes in these videos. In the first version, I recorded the audio in a shower of rain. The second recording was slightly drier and less hissy. We got there in the end. I had to tinker with the microphone before I made my way across the sonic finishing line. Yes, I could fix the latest version in place over earlier videos, but that means republishing as well. Best let sleeping dogs lie. The other day I was sucked into a conversation about microphones, and I thought I'd make this video about equipment. Here is the equipment. It's a blue Yeti microphone with a pop filter, or drool catcher if you prefer. Pop filter is a phrase that puts a peppery pea sound in the microphone's face. The peppery pea sound drops a miniature explosion onto your audio recording. To avoid the effect, don't use words that start with P, or sit halfway across the room. Alternatively, fit the pop filter. If you plan on using a blue Yeti for video purposes, there are a few points worth searing into your minds. The first thing is positioning. Keep the microphone upright. It is designed to capture sound in this position, definitely not in that position. If you move it to that position and reveal this blunder in a video, irate viewers will write to you from the 4 corners of the globe. Shout out to any flat earthers listening. In that position, you'll see the entry for the USB cable connection to a computer, the headphone connection, and room for a mount if you want to dispense with the standard base. You'd think the standard Yeti base is a cave somewhere in Nepal. What do you attach the Yeti to if you don't want to use its base? Not this exact model, but something like this arm contraption here, a microphone stand that gives you more of a radio station feel to your studio setup. Let's say you're sticking with a standard base. The second thing worth noting relates to this pop filter, and this is the official Yeti filter called the Pop. It's designed to fit to the microphone. I know that sounds shocking, but it's true. If you struggle to fit the pop filter to your microphone, stop. I'll help you, without drilling into the microphone stand and without buying anything else besides the filter. Don't drill into the microphone stand. The bit that adds to the main thing is designed to fit onto the main thing without drilling and without purchasing other things to boot. This is science in action. 2 spacers keep the microphone in place. With the microphone mute button facing you, pay attention to the spacer on the left-hand side. That's the one you'll take out. Remove the left side screw, holding everything together, and separate the spacer from the main assembly. Take the pop filter's main clamp and slide it in there instead of the spacer. Return the left side screw and tighten that up. Of the 2 screw holes available, I opted to fix the clamp in place using that one at the front. You may prefer to fix the arm in place at the other point with the front of the arm protruding. That's up to you. The filter arm has a screw thread inside the very end. Ignore this. For unfathomable reasons, this is the tricky part. It's the part that makes people run to the drill, and they end up drilling holes in the microphone stand to improvise their own fixtures. Stop the madness. Just slide the end of the pop filter's flexible, snaky body into the clamp and tighten up the screw. Yes, that's it. Done. No, it's not the greatest design in the world. Clearly the designers had multi-purpose functions in mind when they made the clamp arrangement that way. The clamp is designed to grasp a circular object like the end of the pop filter's arm or a microphone pole stand, setting the filter apart from the microphone entirely if people wanted to make their own arrangements. You can still use this stand with a very short pole fitted to the base and attach your pop filter clamp there. But this is the basic method of attachment. Put the drill away. Stop trying to clamp the clamp to awkward bits of the microphone stand. Oh, and put the drill away. Here's another piece of equipment. It's a Blue Yeti microphone. This isn't the white Blue Yeti microphone, it's the Blue Yeti microphone. These microphones are near identical. What's so important about the second one? It's the second one. That's the important bit. In setting up this video channel, I bought a Blue Yeti, and I experimented with it long before I put out my first video. Even then, I still experimented with sonic settings. There are things you only truly learn about a YouTube video once it becomes a YouTube video. A few videos in, I developed a terrible condition known as microphone trouble. I looked around at the studio. There's a webcam, and it's on a camera slider. There's a second webcam. It's on a camera slider too. There's my spare webcam. I'm never short of a camera if a camera rolls over and dies. But there I sat with microphone trouble saying to myself, I know from camera tests that the webcam microphones are too close to the action. You hear every subatomic particle grinding inside the camera slider once the camera moves. And my basic bitch microphone from the olden times was so cheap the shop practically paid me money to take it off their hands. The alternatives weren't alternatives or backups at all. I needed a spare microphone that wasn't operating at the technological level of an unearthed potato. So I bit that financial bullet and bought the Blue Yeti. Luckily, there was a sale on. But it raises that point. Equipment for videos isn't equipment unless you have spare equipment in there as part of the equipment. I'd hate to fall back on my last computer, but I could if I had to. Spare. Cameras, I have those to spare. Occasionally I take still photos for videos using a digital camera, and I have a spare one of those too. All this spare stuff sitting around, getting used, of course. The spare cameras come into play at the flick of a USB cable, as it's easier to switch from one camera to another than it is to tear a camera from its home and bolt it into a temporary lodging. Yes, even with quick-release plates in the studio. Use the spare equipment to ensure that it still works. Then you really aren't caught short in an emergency. So, I bought a spare Yeti. Buying it and checking it out, running it in, I fixed my microphone trouble and luckily managed to return to the original Yeti. I have spare keyboards and plenty of spare mice, even have a spare monitor, extra headphones. Why the fuck didn't I buy a spare microphone? They aren't cheap microphones, and I had to shuffle the budget around. I also had to make sure the first Yeti was worth it. It was. When microphone trouble coincided with a sale on Blue Yeti microphones, I pounced. And that's the lesson to take away from this video, even if you don't own a Blue Yeti, or even if you do and you bought a different filter. Buying a microphone for video production isn't about buying a microphone for video production. It's about buying two of the buggers.